anything, but I'd like us to try a simple reflection. This is from Jack Kornfield. Imagine you could look back over this next year when you were at the end of your life. And imagine, among all the demands of your life, that you had chosen to stand up for one cause, something you truly care about. It might be global or local, climate change, hunger, refugees, children, justice, whatever matters to you. And imagine how you feel at the end of your days, having done so, having placed this make-weight on the scale of the earth. Now imagine the first step, what you envisioned, who you contacted, how you began. Finally, imagine how you can begin in the weeks ahead. We have a lot of work ahead of us. So I'm winging now the state of the state of New England Coalition, the so-called President's Report. The only thing worse than one President's Report is two President's Reports. I should note as well, we're looking forward to we're going to conduct our business meeting at 2 approximately. We're going to take a 15-minute break, and then we're going to have presentations. Tina, my partner Tina, and I will be reading some words from Winona LaDuke. Our own Ray Shaddis will be, both Ray Shaddis and Arnie Gunderson, our chosen expert witnesses in front of the Public Utility Commission for this docket around the sale of, proposed sale of Vermont Yankee by Energy to North Star Corporation, a limited, not to repeat myself, a limited liability corporation that was formed still less than a year ago. So we're going to get an update from Ray on what exactly we're doing here, why we're doing what we're doing. And then we're going to get an update from Arnie, who's just back from Japan, on Fukushima and new disturbing evidence around the ongoing pollution debacle there. We'll take another break, and then our guest speaker, David Kraft, he's the founder director of Nuclear Energy Information Service in Chicago. I'll give him a little more of an introduction later on. He's a giant in the work that we do. So the state of the state in front of the Public Utility Commission, formerly the Public Services Board. I imagine most of you have certainly picked up on the ongoing. There's been a lot of news about this. A lot of people are very concerned about it. You may remember in the beginning when this was first coming out of North Star's almost paranoid concern about their business plan being even discussed. They weren't even, and theoretically we were told, have not even shared this plan with Entergy. And their concern being that this is a very lucrative industry that they're getting into. They would have us believe that, this is an aside which I'll repeat, Entergy and North Star are trying to have us believe that if this deal doesn't go through, Vermont Yankee will sit there for another 50 years. That nobody else is interested in this thing. Well, in fact, there are Entergy in particular is very anxious to get this liability off of their books, and Entergy is very interested. North Star is very interested in entering the fray of decommissioning. There are billions and billions and billions of dollars at stake, and much of it coming up very quickly. Important note, this is the first reactor, so-called merchant reactor, which is privately owned, not by a utility, not by a consortium of utilities that have a ratepayer base to go back to. Should there be any problems during the decommissioning process? The importance of that is easily noted when they decommissioned Connecticut Yankee. They ran into a $400 million cost overrun. Every plant decommissioning in this country, save one, has gone 30% or more over budget. This is the first merchant plant to be decommissioned in this country. And Entergy, a $12 billion corporation, publicly traded corporation, they want to sell the plant and all its responsibilities with the decommissioning trust fund, now at around $650 million. Less than a year ago, Entergy was saying it was going to take twice that to decommission the plant. They want to sell the plant and the responsibility to decommission it to a limited liability corporation, less than a year old, that has no assets. No ratepayer base to fall back on. Contrary to much of the press that comes out around this issue from that side, from their side, the proxies really, you can tell that some of the wording is even the same. New England Coalition, I believe everyone here in the room would agree, is very anxious to get this plant decommissioned as quickly as possible. There's no question about that. But we at New England Coalition, and turns out the state as well, particularly the Agency of Natural Resources and the Department of Public Service, they are very concerned because if North Star goes belly up, the state will be holding the bag. And they're particularly concerned about the radiological cleanliness of the site when the decommissioning is complete, as are we, and they're very concerned about the financial viability of the company that's proposing to decommission it. These are questions which we hammered. We were the first intervener, even before the state, although I guess DPS is a natural intervener. ANR came in.